running for a mainstream party. You didn't compete in a nomination. Did you compete in the nomination contest with Vision Vancouver or COPE? Isn't COPE a progressive party? Like, how come you didn't choose a mainstream like COPE, Vision, or NPA? Why are you running with a party that seems to be a little obscure in the public mind?
I've voted for many years for COPE. Unfortunately, I've been disappointed by them time and again, and I do find them to be ineffectual. And you know, we've tried their approach. You know, we have had COPE-run local governments. We have had COPE-dominated city councils. I don't see that they fulfilled what I believe to be their promise to the citizens of Vancouver. Therefore, I just can't stand behind them anymore. Vision are unproven, but really I don't see any reason to support them, seeing as where I know what their history is and where their funding comes from.
You're playing this game where money is important. Let's be honest. And the media, like, if it wasn't for alternative media, I wouldn't know who Betty is. I wouldn't.
Right.
I mean, it seems like Ken West and all the big papers don't want to pay attention to independent candidates or parties that don't fit their.
But what we see is that, you know, you've got your mainstream and then you've got your margin.
Okay.
We don't even want to play on their turf by their rules anymore. It's a different world now, you know, a world of new media, a world of YouTube, and a world of emailing, and a world of blogs, websites, and Facebook. And we don't need to play in their sandbox anymore. I think that we can mobilize our people through our own means, through direct communication, through the events that we hold.
She must have some progressive values. Not knowing you,
I would say so.
I'm assuming that.
Yes.
But having said that, couldn't you gather a whole bunch of people and compete for a nomination within one of those parties where you'd have more of a chance of winning or getting your voice heard in the long run?
I actually think that I have a better platform to use my voice in this arena. I really actually do. I've thought about it long and hard, and I just don't feel that the way that their political parties work. I think that my opinions would be quashed. I would be silenced. I would be censored. I don't think that I would be able to say the things that I am able to say in this medium at all. Based on the usual statistics, the voter turnout for municipal elections is somewhere in the low 30 percentile. And you've got the same numbers of people that are constantly, like, you know, they can sway back and forth, and there's kind of like a middle ground that everyone's always kind of trying to veer towards, and they're always trying to go after that same number of voters. Well, there are approximately 300,000 eligible voters in the city of Vancouver. What about those 200,000 that don't vote? Those are people that we're trying to speak to. These are the disenfranchised, the marginalized, those that feel that their voice isn't being heard, that there aren't people that represent them. And those are the people that I'm going after, the approximately 200,000 that typically do not vote because they have never found a party or candidates that really speak to them, or they become completely disillusioned with parties that exist today. I'm not fighting for those people who are already committed NPAers, COPers, or Vision Party members.
Let's say you're the first work-less candidate to get elected to council, but you're the only work-less person who makes it among a bunch of these people.
Okay.
How are you going to reconcile your differences with these people? What could you do on council when you're surrounded by, you know, NPA councillors or Vision councillors or COPE councillors? How would you reconcile your
I think it's really important to have that voice on council, and I think that kind of a model that we see for a political party is not to not to rule in a kind of a top-down way, not to tell other people what they should do and what they should think, but to be a facilitator and also to act as an inspiration. I hope that through our ideas and through our policies and our platform that we can inspire people to mobilize, to take action, to come together, to work within their own organizations, to build up a groundswell of people that want to affect change. Not because we're telling them what to do, but we know that we need to work together. What we're trying to do is ask people in this new era of technology and information, you can reach thousands and thousands of people in a single day just by people forwarding through their lists. And I know that there's going to be some overlap, but I'm hoping that through people's workplaces and through people's volunteer organizations and so forth, that they can reach huge numbers of people, because this is how it's going to happen.